If you're just getting started in your exercise journey and you're looking for a program that can help you build stronger legs, then this video is perfect for you. If you don't know who I am, my name is Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties specialist physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today I'm going to be revealing 5 of my favourite beginner exercises to help you build stronger legs. So we're going to have a look at the exercises in just a moment, but before I show you them, I just wanted to say that these are not going to be suitable for everyone. So before you try these exercises, make sure you get checked out by your doctor. Avoid them if they cause you pain, and don't do them against the advice of any healthcare practitioner. Anyway, that all being said, let's have a look at the exercises now so you can try them at home. So here are some of my favourite beginner exercises for stronger legs, and the first one is called the mini squat. And the mini squat is a fabulous exercise because it's weight bearing, we do it on our feet, and it strengthens the glute muscles and the quads as well. So the mini squat is great, we just need something to hold on to make it work. So I'm going to hold on to the back of the chair, and you want to stand with your feet about shoulder width apart like this. Now the mini squat is very simple, 2 hands on the chair, we're going to squat down like this, just 6 inches or so, and then bring ourselves back up. And at the top we would just want to squeeze the buttocks together. So simple as that. We're just going to push the hips out, bend the knees, down 6 inches and come back up. Now, even though this is a simple exercise, I see many people get this wrong. And the way they get this wrong is they do it like this. So they don't stick their hips out at all, they just dip the knees, and what happens is you end up getting stuck there. Because if you don't stick your hips out, your ankles don't have the mobility to keep your knees going forward, so you can only go down a few inches and it's not really doing very much. So the proper movement is like this. So we're hinging at the hips and then we bend the knees down like this. We can go further like this. It should be gentle on the knees, getting the hips involved as well, and then we come up and squeeze at the top. So what I recommend people do is they just do a solid set of mini squats, probably 15 to 20 repetitions in a row if you're just getting started. And at the end of the set, you should feel some warmth in your thighs and maybe in your buttocks as well if you've been squeezing them properly at the top. It shouldn't be painful on your knees, and I want you to stop before you get to knee pain. So if you have dodgy knees or you feel your knees are not quite as strong as they should be, don't go down far enough to feel them hurt or to feel them click or anything like that. Just stop before you get the discomfort and come back up. Sometimes when my patients are just getting started, we will literally just go down 2 or 3 inches and then build up very slowly over time. So that's the mini squats, 3 sets of those, 20 repetitions is a great way to get started. So the next exercise we're going to do is banded extensions. And these are great exercises for the front of your thigh, otherwise known as the quads. And the quads are very important for keeping your knees straight when you walk. They're one of the most important muscle groups in the body. So to make this exercise work, what we need is a resistance band. It doesn't have to be a strong one. You can get these very cheaply online, and you want to find something at home that you can attach it to. It's not going to ping off, that's about knee height if you can. So I've attached it to my bed and I've tied it in a loop like this. Now the next thing we want to do is just slip your leg, the one to be worked, inside the band like this, and just take a small step away from the band. Now if you have the band just behind the back of your knee, what you'll feel is the band is trying to pull your knee into this position. Okay, so that's how it should feel. And you're going to put most of your weight over onto your good side, the one you're not working, and then with the other leg we're just going to push the knee straight to extend the knee against the band. It's a very small movement. I'm going to relax like that and then pull back. So you can see this is a tiny little movement. So the knee starts bent and then it goes straight. But you can see that what's happening here is my quad muscles are having to contract to bring the knee straight. This is actually a really good exercise for people who've just suffered from a ligament injury or for people who have quite bad arthritis and they just want something to get them moving, to get those quads kicking in again, but still against a little bit of resistance. Now, as I'm standing here, 70% of my weight is on the other side and 30% is going through this leg, but this leg is doing all of the work because the quads are extending to make the band tight. Now I would recommend again 15 to 20 repetitions of this in a row, and by the time you finish you should have a bit of a working ache in your quads. If you don't have the ache, you could take a bit more of a step away from the band. That will make it harder, or you can find a band that's a bit tougher than the one you've already got. Now, doing this consistently, about 3 sets per day, tends to work quite well. Is a great way to get the quads kicking in and a really good early stage beginner exercise for stronger legs. Now, the next 3 exercises you can all do from lying down on your back. So if you're one of the many people who can't exercise standing, this is where you should start. And this is a lovely exercise called the inner range quads, which again helps to improve your connection to the quad muscles. So with this exercise, you just need a towel and a comfy bed. You're going to tuck the towel underneath your knee so that when your knee is relaxed, you've got a slight bend underneath the knee joint. And the exercise is super simple. It's exactly the same as the last one we did. We're just going to push down into the towel and straighten the knee, pulling the toes up towards us. So what we're doing in this position is we're activating the quads. These muscles here are switching on, and by pulling the toes up, we increase that contraction, hold for 5, and then relax back down. So we're going to repeat again. So push down into the towel, lift up, and then pull the toes. And we're going to get a nice contraction here, 5-second hold, and then relax. Now, some people with problems with their patellofemoral joint, this area here, will not like this exercise. And same with people with meniscus problems. Some people don't get on well with this exercise either. So if it's sore, avoid it. But for many people, this is such a good way to get the quads kicking in. It's a perfect beginner exercise. And you might be thinking, well, how is just contracting the muscle going to make it stronger? And the reason that this actually works so well is because the contractions we're doing here, they improve the connection between the mind and the muscle. So even if the muscle's not getting bigger or getting physically stronger, we can activate it better, which makes it functionally stronger, if that makes any kind of sense. Now, if you do this for a few weeks, I would do 15-20 repetitions in a row, again, 3 sets per day. You'll find you're much better connected to these muscles. And when you walk, your knee won't feel like it wants to give way. When you climb stairs, you'll feel safer. It's just such a good way to get the knee muscles kicking in again to protect your knee. So that's the inner range quads exercise. So I would do those for 15 or 20 repetitions and then move on to the next one, which is the straight leg raise. And this is a lovely quads exercise again. It works a different part of the quads. It actually works the higher up parts. Okay, we call this rectus femoris, this muscle here. It will also work your hip flexors, so your psoas major and your iliacus as well. So what we're going to do, again, we'll show you on the left side. You're going to straighten one leg like this, keep the other leg bent, and the other leg is bent so that it protects your lower back. So now we're just going to flatten the knee, pull the toes up towards us, and then keep the back nice and flat as we lift the knee or lift the whole leg up in the air, just so it's in line with the other thigh, and then slowly come back down. So as I just alluded to, keeping the back flat, what we're trying to do is just gently push down, so close that gap down here, and then keep that gap closed down as we lift the leg up in the air and then slowly back down. Now we should feel this working at the front of the leg, so it might start here and then work its way down in terms of an ache. That's a good thing. What we shouldn't feel is pain in the lower back. So if you feel back pain, you're either not set up correctly, you're not flattening your back properly, or you probably shouldn't do this exercise. Now, the other people who should avoid this exercise is anyone who's suffering with a case of sciatica, because this movement is actually a test that we do to test for sciatica, and if it is a test that causes pain, it's definitely not something you want to do repeatedly again and again. So if you're a sciatica sufferer, avoid this one, but for most people, this is a really nice exercise. Now, if you're just starting out, I'd recommend doing 10 or 15 repetitions in a row, 3 sets per day. Brilliant way to get your quads a bit stronger. And then we're going to move on to our final beginner exercise today, and this is called, and it's a great exercise for overall leg strength. It will strengthen your quads, it will strengthen your hips, and it will also give you a stronger core, which is no bad thing. So to make this exercise work, you're going to lie on your back, you're going to bend your knees as far as you feel you can, and you're going to make sure that most of the weight can go through your heels. Okay, that's very important if we want to activate the glutes. The first thing we're going to do here is just flatten the back down. Then we're going to push down through the heels. We're going to lift up into just a neutral position. So your shoulders and your knees should line up. At the top, we want to squeeze the buttocks together, hold for a couple of seconds, and then very slowly put the movement into reverse, lowering down like this before relaxing at the bottom. So I'll show you again. We want the knees bent up. We want to make sure we're going to weight bear through the heels, flatten the back, push through the heels, lift up in the air like this. We just want a neutral position. We don't want to go up into hyperextension. Squeeze the buttocks at the top, hold for a second, and then slowly back down. So I'm going to show you one more time. So we'll keep the back flat, push down through the heels, lift. At the top, we hold for a second, squeeze those glutes at the top, and then slowly back down. If you're doing this exercise correctly, you should feel it in your glutes, you should feel it in your quads. You might feel a little bit of work in your hamstrings, but they shouldn't be cramping. If they're cramping, you're probably not at the right angle of knee bend, so have a play around with your knees. And do that exercise again 15 times in a row, 3 sets per day. Fantastic exercise for strengthening the legs as well. And I hope that has been useful. So those are my 5 favourite beginner exercises for people who want to build stronger legs. I hope you found this video useful. If you've had a go at them, please do drop a comment below and let us know how you got on. And if you want to get more from me, you can pick up a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50, and it's got loads more tips and strategies and exercises like these ones inside. You can grab that by going on Amazon using the link below. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and I'll see you on the next video.